Your ex has his eye on you and he is spinning the block. Why did he change his mind and now wants to be fully committed and locked in with you? They made it public, okay? They wanted to smear his name and warn other women, okay? And I'm down for that. We warning women. It's called cognitive dissonance. And there's a reason why they are suddenly ready to be serious with you. This is the Ever Airwaves Think podcast, brought to you by Live One Company, where we explore ideas that challenge, comfort, and clarify. I'm Liv, and in every episode, we break down life's complexities with intellect, insight, and a touch of curiosity. All right, we're on air. I've been back in them Reddit streets lately, really for deeper insights, diversity, and thought, because I love to go beyond surface level on stuff. But when I tell you, they be cutting up over there, you have no idea. I was in what has now become one of my favorite custom Reddit feeds, AIO, Am I Overreacting? It's funny because this random thread popped up in my algorithm, which I really don't know why. Actually, I do know why. Because these social media systems are out here to push content. That's probably why. It reminds me of like Target and how you go into Target to get one thing, but when you walk in Target, pretty much tells you everything that you need. And basically you're leaving out $200 later. Like it never fails. But I don't know. Target has disappointed us lately. They really let us down, y'all. So we'll have to see what's in store next, but we're going to keep pushing. Well, anyways, back to the Am I Overreacting AIO Reddit feed. When I tell you the stories people be posting on there, screenshots, emails, and everything, I'd be like, dang, the proof is proofing. Like, can we say real content driven, like social credibility? Okay, the niche is niching over there, okay? Shout out to those communities. I love how you can really dig into some of the hidden reasons why behind things over there. It's a real interesting world collective over there. So don't ever say I didn't put you on to anything, okay? You're welcome. But do me a favor, don't get addicted. You've been warned. I'm serious, you have really been warned. But I appreciate Serena Williams locking it in with Alexis Ohanian. He's the co-founder of Reddit. So get it, girl, because that app be apping. But the other day, I came across this post where this woman broke up with her man after being in a long-term relationship with him that never went anywhere. Her man was very clear he didn't want to get married. And finally, she made the decision to break up with him and move on with her life. And literally right after breaking up with him, not too much longer after that, he came back on bending knees, ring and all, okay, popping the question and setting the date. And it was very left field energy. Now, most of you will say, okay, he had time to reflect after she broke up with him on, pretty much what they had, and that he pretty much has come to his senses and that he's realized he's messed up and, how much he loves her, and that he's manned up now and he's no longer scared to get married, and, that he doesn't want her to end up with anyone else and all of that, right? And pretty much you're saying that all this justifies his reasons for coming back to her, Boys to Men style, okay, down on bended knee. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a really good perspective, but that's not why. That is not the reason why this man came back to her. There's another reason why men just like him come back to you after breaking up. And there's a reason why they are suddenly all ready to be serious with you. Like, what changed, sir? Why did he change his mind and now wants to be fully committed and locked in with you? It's called cognitive dissonance. Let's discuss. Ladies, there's a reason why a man will show no interest in fully committing to you and marrying you, yet he will continue to be in a relationship with you and occupy time, your time. So, some of you are strong enough to break it off and like move on because you realize he's wasting your time. And then there's a lot of you that are still hanging on for dear life. And I guess that's what you call being 10 toes down, I reckon. But when you break up with him and move in elevation, you are focused on next level stuff. He will come back and he'll be ready and he'll be more serious. And this is how cognitive dissonance works. It's when a person feels uncomfortable because what they now see in you, what they now see about you doesn't match how they feel. Now, I know what I just said is deep and we'll get into it some more, but first, AIO, okay? Am I overreacting? Let's get into what this girl posted in Reddit and what sparked this episode. The Reddit caption reads, looking for advice. She goes, I'm 28 and I broke up with my boyfriend who was 40 years old 7 months ago. We were together for 5 years. I brought up marriage a few times starting 3 years ago into our relationship. He always immediately shut down those conversations. SMDH. Wait a minute. So 3 years ago, girl, what? That means you were 25. Okay. So at the time you basically were mentioning marriage, that's a good age. And he was at least 37 years old around that time. I'm just kind of doing the math in my head. Okay. So basically this man is too old for these type of games. Ladies, men know between about 6 to 9 months, right? They know around that time if they want to marry you. And so let me continue with the story. But she goes, I also asked him to buy a house with me. Girl, you did what? Wrong road, wrong road. Oh my goodness. Like, why are you asking this man if he wants to buy a house with you? Does he not have a house? Like, this man is 12 years older than you. The age gap is not really an issue. It's that he already said he wasn't going to marry you. I mean, he didn't verbally say it because he appeared to avoid the conversation in general, but that's him saying it, right? Him avoiding the conversation about marriage and never wanting to discuss it multiple times is him saying no. Like all of his nonverbals told you no. Basically, his actions told you exactly what you did not want to hear. But he told you, okay? And the fact that he didn't even think, you are worthy of at least a conversation about marriage, that tells me everything I need to know. Like, why, right? That man told you no, that he wasn't going to marry you to your face, okay? And him saying no conversation equals no. And you asking him to buy a house with you, like, I'm lost. Like, it's given desperado, right? It's given, that you don't think you can do any better, which you can. You can absolutely do better. And high key, like, to me, it sounds like he might even have somebody else on the side. Just let me pause for a second. Like, ladies, don't be stupid. Don't be asking your boyfriend to buy no house with you. I know somebody right now. I'm not going to even say how I know them because they might pull up on me. They're listening and get me. Okay. No, I'm kidding. But they probably happily want me to share and I have their permission. And why do I have their permission to share this? Because they took it to court. They made it public. Okay. They wanted to smear his name and warn other women. Okay. And I'm down for that. We warning women. Well, she begged her man for marriage and he said no. And for some let's be dumb reason, she decided to buy and build a brand new home with him anyway, right? Her man, her boyfriend, not her husband. And after 7 or 8 years, still no ring. Child, like when she finally came to her senses to move on and move out, she wanted to basically get her share of equity out of the home, which, was a few racks pretty much, right? Racks on racks on racks. And they went to court and basically the court forced them to sell their home because they weren't married. And so she ended up like suing him for more money after that, probably owed her But baby, she lost, and them courts was in his favor that day. Okay. I think it was a male judge, I don't know. But she had to walk away losing all of that money and paying all of her attorney fees and his attorney fees, and about lost her mind. She even shaved all her hair off. And I mean, it was cute now. Her hair was cute with her little shaved hair. It was definitely different. But she lost. And so don't ever forget, it's always dinner with boyfriends and a title and deed with our husbands. Okay. She regrets every bit of it, and I hope she writes a book about it. But, I'll be the first one to buy it. Okay, I'll be up in Barnes and Noble, okay, on her book signing day. All right. Each one teach one. And, we just got to do better. We got to do better, ladies. All right, back to this Reddit AIO story. Am I overreacting? Okay, so she says, he dragged his feet for years about buying a home with me until I finally just purchased one on my own. Girl, that's what he wanted you to do anyway. He didn't want his name on your mortgage, maybe the deed, but definitely not the mortgage. "7 months ago, I broke up with him. I didn't tell him why or bring up marriage. I just said that I wanted space to live my own life. Last week, he pops up out of nowhere, comes to me apologizing, saying he was stupid for not committing to me and he couldn't imagine life without me." Girl, it's given he needs a place to stay. Oh my goodness. Okay. He proposed and said he wanted to marry me, get a house together, kids, and all of that. Girl, I know you lying. I know you lying. She goes, all right, since then, he's been over the top, compensating by helping out with household chores, planning dates, saying he loves me, etc., etc. So, did he move in? Okay, so she goes, not sure if I should believe this is really a new start because my heart says I don't want to get married if it came about because of a breakup. Shaking my head. Girl, what do we think? It ain't about what we think. It's about what you think. And are you thinking? I mean, because this 40-year-old man is playing in your face. It's giving leech. It's giving moocher. And ain't got nowhere else to stay. And that he's a liar. A whole grown man at his big age playing these games. It's the cognitive dissonance for me. He thought you'd always be the one to miss him, but now he sees you are a new and better version of yourself. And, which pretty much has created this mental tug of war for him. And this means he's been keeping tabs on you, okay, from a distance or something, because that's what men do. He was probably getting that feeling you were about to really be involved with someone else sooner than later. And men can't handle that. But yeah, this is cognitive dissonance. Complete ambivalence, and he's now contradicting his decisions of the past concerning you. He is too old for this. He is too old for these type of games. This guy's mental tug of war is in one way where he sees her elevation and feels like he's lost something of value, which he did. Okay, he lost her, right? And then on the other side, he's wrestling with the fact that they weren't together anymore and he couldn't shake that. So over those 7 months of separation, he probably couldn't really get over the fact that, this uncomfortable feeling he was having of not being with her. And in his mind, someone dealing with cognitive dissonance, getting back with her means the uncomfortable feelings he was having from being separated from her will go away because he's back with her. So he's not going to feel that way anymore. Right. Pretty much he no longer has to suffer the consequences of the mistakes, he was feeling and just basically not committing to her in the first place. This guy is also proving to himself that he still has access to her and that he can pretty much reap all the benefits of her living her best life, right? Because this is how men do. They're messy. They like to come into your place, come into your sanctuary and mess up the thing. But on top of that, he changed because she changed. And that's the main thing when it comes to the cognitive dissonance theory. Basically, when you change, it makes the people around you want to change. And this is the power of social influence. So when you start doing something, they want to start doing something. And it's really like this mirror effect where people unconsciously mimic, right, the behaviors of others because their everyday life patterns have been disrupted by you making moves. And so now they want to make moves too. Have you ever noticed, like, if you start going on trips and traveling like the world or something and you're posting it, and then your friends and followers may start like doing the same thing, and you be like, now wait a minute, like they never travel. Yeah, like, that's weird. Like they're going to the same places I went. They're doing the same things I did, which is cool and all, but it's really like psychological, or not psychological, but yeah, I guess psychological persuasion. Like people are influenced and make changes for status quo because of the people around them. So like you starting a hair business, now they want to start a hair business. Like you wrote a book and now they want to write a book. Like it's no different in relationships when you change, specifically when you glow up. Now, not glow down now, but glow up. You know, your ex has his eye on you and he is spinning the block. There is a psychological discomfort in him because after she left him, he wasn't doing anything with himself anymore. And this is cognitive dissonance. And you can study Leon Fessinger's theory on cognitive dissonance and how when change in the form of something better is introduced into the picture and someone sees you doing better, like your ex sees you doing better, they will experience this mental discomfort until they do something about it, which is usually gravitating in 10 times harder to the one thing that has changed in their life and that is doing better so they can feel restored. That's how it works. And that's why he came back. This Reddit guy literally came back to her on bended knee with a ring and a marriage proposal and a set date. And now he's cooking, cleaning. All of a sudden he's domesticated and trying to move himself right on in. It's all about that change. To answer this Reddit girl's question that she asked the AIO, Am I Overreacting community on whether she should stay with the guy, the overwhelming and resounding response from the community was no. Well, actually, you know, it was hell no. And that's my response too. Like, it doesn't take a man 5 years to know if he wants to marry you. And men know in the first 6 to 9 months if they want to marry you. And the fact that he never wanted to even have a single conversation about marriage with her ever until she moved on and bought her house and was living her best life. Yeah, that's a problem for me. And that lets me know that he's a user because now he wants to pop back up in the picture because she's changed and she's elevated and he just wants to live off of that. Girl, run. Thanks for listening to the Ever Airwaves Think podcast. If today's episode made you elevate, share it with someone who needs it. Until next time, keep questioning until you have those answers. I'm out.